Vambora.
The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
Então, fora os gêmeos, temos o jovem moça que desapareceu e os dois falecidos.
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
Que não existe provas de que essa terceira pessoa existe.
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person. But the only people left to consider are both technically victims, whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Coalla.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Coalla before making her escape?
Mas será que ela tinha entendimento suficiente de como o truque mágico funcionava?
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guard said that she has never had any dealings with the Magic Troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing though, Navia. They smell great! They're nice and crisp and super sweet!
They are my specialty after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3, honest!
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
E tá tranquilo, se você comeu eles, ó, está tudo bem. Todos sabem como você ama comer.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach.
All right, we get it.
Será que tem um fantasma aí?
I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal.
Só disse que não
Set
comeu.
up the stove again, if you would.
Huh? What are you doing?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Ó, não precisa fazer isso.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
Demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
Cara, acho que tem algum fantasma aí nessa ópera.
Wow, this really is your hobby, huh?
Navia prepara uma segunda rodada pelos... Tem tanta discussão que segue não se resulta em
That's
muito...
it for snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the two
Claro,
of you
somos
think the case
advogados,
over
se a gente não
again.
pensar nesse caso aí, meu amigo, já perdemos, né?
It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
Alright, thanks for your help and for the snacks.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malouse, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
Possibilidade de uma terceira pessoa estar envolvida. Parece não haver nenhum motivo aparente para o que aconteceu com Cole e o Ryzen. Mas depois de conversa com a Nave, a possibilidade de uma terceira pessoa estar envolvida é muito baixa. Espera até as 8. Até o julgamento ali, né? Nossa. Como a gente vai... Nem eu sei, velho. Como a gente vai dar um jeito aqui, né? De provar que ele é inocente.
Benny's adventure cheap?
Participe do julgamento. Vai começar o julgamento, né? Vou até tirar foto aqui, gente. Como a gente vai provar, né? O que será que a gente pensou? Eu tenho algumas ideias, vamos dar um passo de cada vez.
Good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going.
Vambora, quero ver como vai ser isso
Best
aqui.
of luck to you.
Vamos ver o que o jogo vai dar de opção pra gente, né? Será que tem chance de morrer? Dar errado aqui, velho, na resposta?
Finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed. Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Me aguarde.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Claramente revela os detalhes do truque de mágica, todas as plateias ficam
Thank you,
estarrecidas.
In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying.
Por que ele tá mentindo?
There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey
Abduzir?
and murder Cowl. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
Como Lene... Calma, como Lene não pode saber sobre aquele som? Não pôde saber sobre aquele som?
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
A crença.
Those scales. Could those mean...
Elas provavelmente representam o posicionamento no julgamento, né? Right, né?
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know
Quando eu começo a
what
atacar
can
ela aí.
happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
Eles são Fatui?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
Ih, rapaz.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it.
Quando a gente começa a falar aqui, velho?
The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
E aí, a gente tinha falado, não é?
Lenny, why didn't you tell us this before?
Menina, eles são Fatuis.
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2
Podemos
points.
defender? E aí?
First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House
É
of the
lareira que
Hearth.
chama aqui, não Fatuis,
Are
por
these
quê?
claims true?
Não há dúvida quanto às habilidades de um mágico em enganar os outros. Considerando que Lenny escondeu sua identidade, tudo isso pode muito bem ter sido montado antes. Além disso, o Shield está aqui em Fontaine junto com os outros membros da casa. Deve existir algum plano acontecendo por aqui? Já fui vítima de um desses planos antes. E agora?
Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
Afirmou. Ih, vai entortar isso aí, hein?
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
Ó, já deu a centena só porque eles são Fatuis. Permissão para falar, Vossa Excelência.
Granted.
Concedida. Meu cliente omitiu algumas informações importantes. Minha defesa não pode continuar.
In that case, what is your request?
Eu gostaria de uma pequena pausa. Existem algumas coisas que precisam ser discutidas.
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
Ó, o outro.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say!
Ele que é o juiz. Como
Your
assim o povo
request
quer
is
ser o juiz?
reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene
Ok,
in 1
obrigado,
hour.
Vossa Excelência.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for
Ela
a
tá achando
little
que venceu a
while
batalha,
longer.
tá vendo? O que a gente vai conversar sobre os fatores, né? Eu esclarecer isso daí, porque ele não falou. Enquanto o tribunal está em recesso, você se encontra com o Laney. Tá. E aí, vai dialogar com a gente, não?
This is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up.
Bom, meu amigo, conta logo
I'm
tudo aí.
sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Assumir seu BO, meu guerreiro.
Sorry. Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so.
Ué,
Please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Vatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
Mas como sabemos que isso não é só outra mentira?
Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal.
Pai, pelo menos não nesse caso.
Sorry.
Eu não assumo esse BO, mas os outros assumem, né?
Well, you both say that, but...
Explique outro problema primeiro. Onde você foi quando o truque estava acontecendo?
Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now.
Probe foi beber água.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Aura Trace operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately?
Tá se aproveitando.
We learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
O que você encontrou?
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Mas por que você quer entender como o negócio funciona, né?
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But, like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Acredito nos fatos. Te defenderei dessas acusações. Acredito que o julgamento chegará como esperado.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
Na verdade, nós já temos as evidências chaves que precisamos.
Huh?
O julgamento já está quase no fim, vamos voltar. Calma aí. Esse julgamento vai terminar no próximo. Esse julgamento vai terminar no próximo.